How's it? Today is May 15th, it's Friday. I did both of the lifts today in some sort of variation, along with some banded sumo deadlifts. Pretty excited for this one. This is the first time I was able to put them 3/4 angle and the side angle together for a snatch. Um, but yeah, did some warm-up squats here with those little cuffs around my hip to kind of help me move, and not sure if it helped or not, but I definitely feel better. Um, so today was just 5 doubles at between 160 and 165, and then 5 doubles at 220 plus a jerk or a power jerk, and then one set of 10 at 285 with the banded sumos. I'm really happy with how today went. Some of them were a little bit harder than others, but overall, I think that things are starting to turn out like I am actually a weightlifter, and that makes me pretty happy. So, yeah. So I pull from the floor here, and then I go back to the hang, and then I start from the hang. This is because I said it lots of times, but I just want to make sure that I can actually move my body through that range of motion, because it's been so long that I've actually lifted off of the floor, and I can't really squat like without hesitation. So being able to, or at least knowing that I can still pull from the floor and pull through that range of motion, is some sort of confidence booster. But here's my final set before my top sets. Pretty happy with how things are moving. My top set is at 160, and I do 5 of them, like I mentioned earlier. Little step forward. So some things to think about for what I'm looking for here are keeping my chest on top of the bar and not super forward from the bar. And that will give me a better leg drive and less forward movement of my hips. So that'll keep the bar straighter. I don't usually have a problem with bar paths. It's just something that I should think about. Like, that was a good one. Not as good, but first rep was better than the other first reps. I'm generally, again, pretty happy with how everything's feeling. I feel like pulling from the floor, I feel pretty slow, but that's just kind of how I've always felt from the floor. And it doesn't feel like I would compromise my technique too much if I were to go for like a power snatch from the floor. So again, that's like another happy thing for me. Here's my final set. Possibly the best second rep. Overall, it's just a pretty good set. Pretty happy with how everything feels again. And then I move into the hang power cleans plus the power jerk. At the top here, my upper back was starting to feel a little pain. That similar pain that I was feeling for the last, I don't know, 7 months, 8 months, something like that. So it's nothing unfamiliar, and it's not too worrying. So another similar thing for the clean that I'm looking for is keeping my shoulders on top of the bar, not necessarily in front of the bar. It's less meaningful on the clean, in my opinion, because the range of motion for the clean is a lot lower. So I can kind of make up for it by slightly being out of position by moving my arms and stuff like that. Because again, the clean's not going from the hang position to over my head. It's going from the hang to my shoulders. So the bar path is significantly shorter. But yeah. And then another thing I'm looking for on the power jerk is my ability to push with my legs and then get the height from my legs and then follow through that with my arms. Here's my first top set. Follow through that with my arms by pushing my body down instead of pushing the bar up further than my legs. Kind of hard to think about. That was the ugliest rep I've ever done. I didn't think I was going to be able to get this power jerk. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do any more doubles, but I managed to make them all, and I didn't miss a single jerk either. Another thing I'm thinking about when I'm watching my cleans, especially from the second rep, is my ability to keep my upper back tight. I can typically do it for my first rep, but the second rep is just a little harder because I'm more fatigued and everything. But it's something that if I can maintain my wrist cocked down or my knuckles down or lifting through my wrist, whatever that cue you want to think about it as, if I can maintain that, then the rest of my upper back is usually strong enough and tight enough to maintain. That was my second to last rep, or last set, and then my final set coming up. Forgot to mention I'm also pulling from the floor, similar to how I would pull if I were doing a clean from the floor. And I think, again, same idea for why I do it with the snatch. It may have been the best power jerk. Not sure, wasn't really paying attention. Pretty happy with no misses. And then I moved into some banded sumo deadlifts off of a 1-inch block. I was doing 275 last week for 10, and so this week I do 285 for 10. And that was a big challenge. The first rep, I wasn't even sure I would be able to get like 3 or 4 more after that, but I was able to do 10. Not sure if there was the best technique, but you'll see right here. This is it. So you can see my back does go into a little bit of flexion. Not too bad though. These honestly felt terrible. So I don't have too much else to say about that. think there's one more left. Yep, that was it. And then I do 3 sets of 8 for back off sets at 245. This back off set has been the same weight for the last 3 weeks. I'm just trying to develop as much speed as I can through the pull. So it might look a little sloppy on some reps. This is not a hard weight to do. Doing it quickly is a challenge, right? Because I can always go quicker. I'm doing my best not to be sloppy, but I'm not perfect. Got one final one right here. And then my last set I think is the quickest as far as like getting through the reps. Can't wait for the next couple weeks because I am doing 2 things. I'm gonna remove the band and then I'm gonna actually go from the floor again. So we'll see how that goes. To finish off the workout, I just did some pull-ups. So work up to a heavy triple. I ended up just doing 3 sets to work up to 50 pounds as my heavy triple. I might have been able to do more. I don't really think so, and I don't think it was worth trying. This is the weight I did last week, and this week, the amount of weight I did on the snatch, the clean, and the deadlift increased, and then I also added the power jerk. So just a lot of extra work today, so I didn't want to push too many things at once. And then I did 3 back off sets of 5, around 85%, exact same as last week, so 20-pound weight here. And then again, exact same as last week, I finished off with the band assisted pull-ups, just with the orange. Just 2 sets of 10. Last week I did some belt squats afterwards to kind of get a little pump and get my range of motion through the squat. Flushed out a little bit, but I was dying today and I didn't have enough time, so those 2 things just made me omit that. So yeah, that'll be it for today. Shoots.